I was muted. I can't figure out this Streamlabs thing yet with the muting and the transitions. I can't. Anyway, how silly is this? I've been wanting to do another podcast for a while, and I've been buying a bunch of crap for my video game stream, and um, I spent way too much money on all this stuff, but I love it. I just want to use it, and I've been wanting to do more podcasting. So this is my attempt to live stream and uh, post more podcasts. But I want to change the direction that I was going in the past. One of the reasons why I kind of stopped in the before, so I when I initially had the uh, the the desire to record, I gave myself a goal. By the way, is this light so annoying or is it cool? Because I thought it was kind of cool, but it might be kind of annoying. Anyway, wanted to do I wanted a podcast about my Mormon journey, and I kind of felt like it was a useful endeavor to share my experience leaving the church, what I've been learning as I've been growing up, getting older with religion and with God and with um, self improvement and that kind of thing. And um, I gave myself a goal to record 10 episodes, and I ended up recording like 20 hours of or 25 hours. I had some long episodes and a lot of fun. I hit my goal, and after the 10 episodes, didn't really I didn't want to force content because for content's sake. I wanted it all to be meaningful. So I I kind of just let it go. I had ideas come and go, but I never really had the fire, the fuel to keep going. So, but I hit my goal. I did 10 episodes, and I've been thinking ever since how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to do when I come back. But then it just kind of fizzled. And then I started playing a lot of video games. I bought a bunch of crap. I have this camera that I'm using. I have a huge desk with speakers and two towers of monitors. Everything's mounted. This room that we got, dude, me and Hutch moved in with me, and we set up this room. Look at this. We got LEDs. We're like fucking TikTokers now. Yeah, I like the purple one. So we have we've put a lot of time and energy and effort into this house that we're in. I've been working a lot. Played video games, playing music. But recently when I'm cleaning so I clean carpets, right? White Glove Carpet Cleaning sponsors all of our they sponsor all of my episodes. When I'm out cleaning, I get to listen to music. I get to have headphones in my ears all day long. So I go between music and podcasts and books and YouTubers, and I have been reading a lot of books lately, and I've been feeling really inspired by a lot of the content that I've been consuming. Content like, this is not a sponsor for any of these books, but I bought this Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and my boy Shy Gamer Girl 8 shared Don Ruiz's Four Agreements. I listened to him, but then I buy the book. I buy the audio book so I can listen to him while I work, and then I like to buy the physical copy and make notes, go back and make notes. There's something about having a physical copy. I can remember where I remember things better with the physical copy. And in the David Goggins book, he has challenges at the end of each of his chapters. I listen to a lot of Rogan. I listen to so much Joe Rogan, and he's a goofball. As if anybody knows or listens to Joe Rogan, he's kind of an idiot, but he's to me he's super inspirational. The people that he has on his podcast, the messages that he um, gets out, I think he's super motivational for me. I'm also drinking protein while I'm doing this. Mm. I got a workout in right before this, and I had really bad asthma. It was super wheezy, but I think I figured it out. Yeah, and I've been rambling for 10 minutes, and I gotta say I'm streaming this live on Twitch at Alpha Seltzer. That's my video game name, ALFASELTZER. Alpha Seltzer on Twitch.tv. I'm streaming this live on Facebook to my Cadence podcast page, and I'm streaming this live to YouTube at my Caden Kelly YouTube page. So my goal now is to do this Monday mornings, 9 a.m. as close to 9 as possible every morning, and my intention is to share with you the things the things that are motivating me, that are inspiring me. I don't want to be like I didn't like in the past being I shouldn't say I didn't like, but I felt like my portrayal in my other episodes was like this bitter anti-Mormon dude, and I'm not really bitter, and I'm not anti-Mormon. I have really strong opinion. I have really strong opinions, and I feel comfortable sharing my opinions to anybody. But anyway, I think I made some mistakes in my portrayal and my messages. I just don't want to seem like an super anti-Mormon. I don't even care for like post-Mormon propaganda or agenda. I have my feelings, my beliefs. I wanted to share them. I'm glad I got them out. In fact, I had a number of people reach out to me sharing how they were inspired by my message, or by the things I was saying, or they were touched, or they felt like they are trapped in the religion, or they had questions, or then I had a lot of people that were mad at me for the things I was sharing, for the opinions that I had, how I was incorrect, how I'm just bitter and angry, and I got all the feedback. I got those really big popular people like John Dehlin get that at probably gets death threats, but also saves marriages. He's like a much more extreme example, but I was getting that at a very, very small. I was getting people really mad at me, but then I was getting people that were really happy with what I was sharing. So I'm not afraid to talk about it, and I'm not afraid of the criticism. I love the criticism. Actually, it helps me. If it's not too critical or negative, then it helps me be more open-minded and pay attention to things that maybe anyway. So I don't want this to be another anti-Mormon podcast. Braxton, of course you could give me Rex. In fact, I want to share mine with you. I guess this is gonna kind of be like a book club. We're gonna just start a book club, and it's gonna be with podcasts. Yeah, and it's the post Mormon convention. I want to go to another one of those. That was it. I love the post Mormon, community, the positive post Mormon community, because they promote people like John Dehlin. To me, promote health and wellness and still spiritual progression, but then also being removed from what feels like a trap, a cultish trap. Okay, with air quotes. It's not all negative. It's leaving something that you feel like is strangling you metaphorically is a good thing if your intention is to uh to improve yourself and improve the people around you. So we went to Steez and I went to the Thrive 2019. Was it 2019? And Thrive is the John DeLynne's post-Mormon convention, and at the beginning of I don't know if I've shared this. At the beginning of the seminar or the convention, he got up. There were probably like 1,000 people there at the Salt Palace, and he asked everybody, stand up if you if you left the church, if you were a Mormon and you left, and then stand up if you are, this and that. And then he asked the very last, stand up if you've never been a Mormon, and Steez was the only one. So Steez was the only one that was never a Mormon that was at the convention. It really was like a place for learning other people's experiences. There were people leaving Jehovah's Witnesses, leaving Scientology, leaving Mormonism. There were active Mormons there. There were a lot of active Mormons that left halfway through because it was really like, it would be hard to be an active Mormon to go to a thing like this. There was a couple sitting right in front of us that was, when he was doing those callings, he said, stand up if your spouse is an active Mormon, or if you're an active Mormon and your spouse is not. And then, there was a couple right in front of us that fell in that category. And I could imagine that was a really difficult environment to be in. But I think they were there with good intention. It's just freaking hard to be in to be super devout in a community like Mormonism, and if your partner wants to leave, I get that. And that was their intention was probably to learn about each other's perspectives and figure out how to make their marriage work. I don't know. It was a really good convention. It was really good, but it was pretty heavy on happiness after Mormonism. Oh, I'm still talking about the Mormon rhetoric. I don't give a fuck. I trimmed my mustache today, but you can't really tell. I don't think I have a protein shake mustache. So here I am. And I don't know how long I want to even do this for. I certainly don't want to do it for several hours at a time, but I want to share what inspired me through last week as I've been getting ready to do this, and what I am going to be doing this week, what I'm going to be listening to. And last week, a couple weeks ago, my mom shared a podcast with me called the Sean and Sax podcast. And it's a podcast with Sean Whalen and his wife, Saxony Whalen. I don't know her maiden name. I think she goes by something else. He and her are like, they're fitness coaches, life coaches, super, buff, athletic. And their podcast is not too old, and it starts with sorry. I kind of like the live feed, the chat, but it's also kind of distracting. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because I'm glad that the Not So Good Artist is here. What's up, the Not So Good Artist? But I don't want to be too distracted, but I don't know. I'm just going to leave the chat. Thank you. Do I know you? Do I know who you are? I'm glad you're here. The Not So Good Artist. Remember, I'm here Monday mornings, 9 a.m. on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Check me out. Thanks, bro. We're here talking about motivation and self-improvement. Love to hear it, dude. Love to hear it. Love to see it. Yes, I got to turn that shit down. Thanks, man. Did he follow? Yeah, that's so sick. Oh, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. This is sick though. All right, so my mom shared this podcast with me. The episode was, um, let me pull it up. It was about a book that he read, or maybe that he wrote. It's called. So the podcast is called "Get Your House in Order," and in the episode, he talks about the core four. That's what it is. Core four. And I got core four from he got core four from another book, but then he wrote a book about it that I read afterwards. It's pretty much the exact same as the podcast, but the book is, um, if you want to see, if you want to improve yourself, if you want to live a healthy, happy life, successful life, there is a pretty much a blueprint to follow. There's not really there's not like secrets to happiness or secrets to success. There's just, the way he says it, there's discipline and there's hard work. And there's been plenty of people in the past that have been successful, they've been wealthy, they've been happy, and and I guess the point is they all kind of follow the same patterns. Happy people do happy people things, and rich people do rich people things, and healthy people do healthy people things, right? So, um, I love messages like this. I get and by guys like this, he's like a Joe Rogan, but he seems a little more hardcore. So I don't know if you guys, if any of you listen to Joe Rogan, you've probably heard names like David Goggins, and you've heard of oh, what's the big chin Navy SEAL guy's name? I follow him on Instagram. He wakes up at 4:30 every morning and posts his exercise. He posts his workouts. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he has guests like this that are super rugged and hardcore. They get shit done, and that's kind of who this Sean is. So he shares the core four principles, which are power, like your physical strength, your exercising, your eating habits. I wrote them down. I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared for any of this. But I love it. I want to share these points. But I have no idea. Oh, here we go. Core four: power, physical health; passion, your relationships; purpose, spirituality; and production, business, or uh, work ethic. He shares these. If you want to lead a successful life, it's imperative to exercise, to challenge your body, to take care of your body, first, and then once you, I've seen this. I feel like this analogy has popped up a lot lately for me for some reason. The analogy of, when if you're on a plane and the plane loses the pressure goes away, or just it goes down. What the fuck is that called? And then the masks drop, and they tell you to put your own mask on before you help others. And that's how I see this. The first step to leading a successful, happy life is to take care of yourself, take care of your physical health, your mental health, eat well, and then work on your relationships, the passion. If you have any negative relation, straining relationship is going to take bandwidth from your capacity to work throughout the day. It's gonna take from your happiness capacity. I think he calls it bandwidth. And then purpose is spirituality. It's funny because he was a Mormon. He served a Mormon missionary. Kind of talks about it in his that podcast, and then he left, and he says he still believes in God, but he's not going to sell God. I think the point is just to be, to believe in a higher power, to have to have purpose in life. That's what I actually really struggle with. Is not that I don't feel like I have purpose, but it's putting my what would the word be, like dependent on a higher power, or reliant on a higher power. I like the idea of being independent and strong for yourself and being able to take care of your own shit. I wonder, maybe I should go back and look into that one a little more, but I do struggle with like letting Jesus take the wheel, and letting God, or letting Mother Nature, or whatever your higher power is, be your driving force, or be to give you motivation. I'm stoked just to be alive and to take care of myself and for the people around me. I do give reverence to Mother Nature. I think that if there is a higher power, I could give it to just like the universe, in a really, really, really basic way. Just how none of it makes sense to me. How there's a giant rock hurtling through space around a massive ball of plasma, of really hot plasma, that gives us everything. It gives us light, warmth. Does it give us the atmosphere? What gives us the atmosphere? What the fuck do I know? So I can give reverence and respect to this bigger picture of the world that I don't understand, and that's enough for me. And the best I could do to give back is just to take care of it. If you want to believe in God, and the way that you believe in God is to be, to read the Bible, or read the Book of Mormon, or to read the Quran, and to do service, and to teach the message of God to others. That's great. I want to be more of take care of, and take care of and respect the place that we live, this massive earth that makes no sense to me, where it came from, how it operates. So that's my spirituality. And then production for business. I feel super motivated lately to work hard. Right now I'm working by myself with White Glove, and it's so awesome. It's so awesome. And I get to pace myself. I get to push myself. I get to, and I want to expand my production into other facets. So I've started investing my money in the stocks, because I'm an ape, and I'm an AMC ape, and we're gonna take this shit to the moon. I got interested in stocks because Steez, my buddy, caught on with the GameStop fire, and I hopped on a little later. It's a fun trend to follow. Yeah. Protect the planet, #1. See, I like the comments, but now I'm off track. I want to be smarter with my money. I want to make money, but I also want to invest money so I don't have to work just like everybody else, but I want to do it. I want to actually do it. That's why I want to read these books. That's why I want to listen to these podcasts. I want to listen to successful people. I want to read successful people's stuff and do successful people things. Because I don't want to work any more than anybody else does, but I want to give to the economy of the world, and to the state, and to the country, to myself, and I want it all to be productive. I want my investments to be productive. I just want to be fucking rich, and I don't want to work for it. I want to work for it, but I don't want to work my entire life. I would just like anybody else wants to make tons of money and not do jack shit. So that's so I but I think it's possible. You look at I think the ultra rich, the billionaires and the Jeff Bezos of the world are an anomaly, but they're real. It happens to some people. And then there's a lot of people in the middle that are, rich enough to pretty much do whatever they want and not work, but not the richest people on the planet. So it's possible to get there. That's kind of the point. It's possible to have excellent physical health. It's possible to have to be super strong, to be ripped, to feel good. I guess at one point that I made in my podcast from a year and a half ago, or was it like 2 years ago, the last one I did, I talked about my physical health. I had colitis. I was really sick. I was losing weight, and for the last 2 years, I've been super conscious of my health. I have spurts of eating perfect, and then as I've gone through this process, I've been healing. I'm not sick anymore. I don't. In fact, I went to I got a. Here, you want some juicy details? Oh, that's so good. If I could sponsor the things that I love, I would sponsor Fairlife Core Power protein shakes. It's like drinking chocolate milk. And they have a strawberry one. It's like drinking strawberry milk. And it's so good. And it gives me a chocolate stash. So in December, this last December, I went in for my yearly checkup to make sure that I didn't have colon cancer. But going into that colonoscopy, I was not sick. I was going because my doctor from my first visit told me to get checked to make sure everything, that I wasn't dying. And from that first visit, I became super conscious of my diet, and I didn't exercise as much as I do now, but I was exercising almost regularly. My diet, it was just my diet that was the biggest thing, and alcohol. I cut alcohol out for like 4 months. Cannot go without a light beer after work. It's just so hard. So I'm not perfect with my diet. I eat fast food and I eat greasy food. And I drink a lot of beer, but I am. If you ask my family, like my mom and the people that I'm around most of the time, I eat pretty damn well. So I was going into this colonoscopy in December and not sick, and I'm laying on I'm laying on the table. I'm laying sideways and with my butthole exposed to the doctor, and he says, "How you feeling?" I said, "I feel fine." And he says, "Are you sick?" And I said, "I'm not sick." And he said, "When's the last time you were sick?" And I said, "Not since my last colonoscopy a year ago." And he said, "Well, it's possible you just had an allergic reaction to some food, but let's go find out." TMI. So they do the procedure, and afterwards they let me know. He tells me, he's like, "You have no inflammation. Your colon's very healthy. Probably just an allergic reaction. Happens, I guess." In fact, when I was first getting really sick for the first little while, I had one of my family friends tell me they had a bout with colitis, because I guess you can just get inflammation in your colon. You can just get colitis. Ulcerative colitis is where the inflammation starts to ulcer. What? And I had a severe case of colitis, and my dumb doctor from the first colonoscopy was like, ulcerative colitis for the rest of your life. And then my doctor, my GI doctor was like, "Now it looks like we're gonna have to put you on Humira for the rest of your life." And I was so scared to do that. I did not want to do Humira for the rest of my life as a 23-year-old. I did not want to do Humira. It's like it's a shot in your gut every 2 weeks for the rest of your life. They just pump your gut with, and it's supposed to. It's an immunosuppressant, so it's supposed to slow my immune system down because Now I'm a fucking doctor. Autoimmune diseases is basically when your immune system is attacking its body. So ulcerative colitis is a type of autoimmune disease where my body was like there was irritation in my colon, and my body kept attacking my colon, which caused more irritation, which would cause the ulcers. And so the Humira is supposed to stop the inflammation. It's supposed to stop my immune system from attacking my colon. So I was supposed to do that for the rest of my life, and then I was just going to be like a really sick person. And I know Humira probably works for, and I'm sure it works for people that are sick. But I basically had a choice to bend over to my doctor, literally and metaphorically, take the Humira for the rest of my life. Or instead, what I did was I kicked ass at my diet. I kicked ass at exercise, and I basically I am not going to say I healed myself. It could have. I mean, I don't know what would have happened if I didn't change anything, or if I had hopped on the humor. I don't know what would have happened, but I feel really good that feel really confident that my lifestyle choices influenced the way my health now. I think I'm healthier, and I have no issues with colitis now because I decided to stop eating fast food regularly, and to stop. Well, I was never. I'm not an alcoholic. I just like to drink a Michelob Ultra when I get home from work, or maybe 3 of them, because I'm fasting all day long because I'm cleaning carpets. And when I have one beer, it feels like I had 10 beers. A light beer, the light beer. Oh, that's probably the worst thing I could do for my body, is to drink alcohol on an empty stomach. Geez, I am all over the place. Oh, Habe Moon says, I understand that feeling. When my heart first was acting up, they thought it was bad acid reflux and was trying to give me meds that had nothing to do with my illness. Yeah, it's funny to me, as I guess as I'm getting older, I'm just learning that science and medicine is just our best effort. It's not perfect science. Nothing is really perfect science. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like if you have asthma, you take a puff of this motherfucking albuterol, and it opens up your airways and whatever. But like it, I guess it's just like you don't know. Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. We're just like going off of what we've learned and what these doctors have experienced, and it's just so I'm not like, I think I had an episode with with my friend Sydney Whitney, and she had she still has uh gut health issues, and she's limited to very few foods that she could tolerate without being sick. So she has a she's had this condition for several years. So she has a long-standing issue that she hasn't been able to resolve with modern medicine, or maybe she hasn't attempted. But in the episode, she shared that her best. It's been so long since that how we did that one, but it's um she shared her journey as a with her gut health. And anyway, modern medicine is just like an attempt to uh it's an attempt to solve our issues. I guess what I'm trying to say is I am that kind of guy that's like, if you're sick, there are natural ways to fix your ailments without resorting, or I guess without starting with medicine, without starting with um especially like something like Humira. I don't even know what you call that kind of repetitive medicine. I took a holistic approach. I took a physical health approach, and I'm really really happy about it. I'm not saying it cured me of my colitis, but I feel so much better. And now I am super motivated to be excuse me, I'm motivated to be super healthy, to be super strong, because the harder I work at my physical health and my is your diet your physical health as well? Yeah. So in February, Habe Moon Braxton uh started doing the Kino Body diet. the challenge, whatever it is, and I got super excited because I was I was not the heaviest I'd ever been, but I just was a little pudgy, and I wanted to challenge myself, and I did that. I just finished 12 weeks of Kino Body. I lost over 15 pounds, and I lost 15 pounds maybe like halfway through, and I changed because the regiment comes with a diet, and I lost 15 pounds. I changed the diet up to consume more protein and calories to gain muscle. Now I've gained 8 pounds back in what feels like muscle. I just love it, and I feel like this is the healthiest and the strongest that I've ever been. And I'm not even close to where I want to be. So I read books like Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And for those of you who don't know David Goggins, he is the hardest motherfucker on the planet. Doesn't matter what you're doing, what the weather is like, that motherfucker is running 10 miles. His book is about his hardship growing up and kind of how he learned his limitation. He's pushing himself and showing the world that all of us are far more capable of everything than we give ourselves credit for. So I love waking up, and this morning I did not want to get out of bed, and I kept having I had his. He says, "Stay hard, motherfucker." I hear that, and I hear myself talking about the podcast, how I was going to do this podcast at 9. I knew I had to get up and exercise beforehand because I got to go to work right now. Anyway, I just love pushing myself. So I wanted to call this podcast something like Monday Morning Motivation. If I want to start the week off right, I want to kick ass. I want to start on the right foot. I want to get everybody else inspired and motivated. And then I started this book last week, and can I read part of a book from on a podcast or on a stream? Is that legal, or will I get? Is it TOS? TOS? He talks about motivation in the book, in his introduction, how motivation is bullshit. Because motivation is, where does he say it? Motivation is what gets you going when things are easy. It's when things are hard, when people have to dig deep. That's to me, that's like just being a hard motherfucker. He tells us, he gives an example of, if you live in Chicago and you're motivated to go out for a run, you'll get your clothes on and you'll step outside, and then when you look outside and it's 10 degrees outside, most people's motivation disappears. It's cold, we'll do it again tomorrow, we'll try again tomorrow. But people who are hard to the core will turn around and they'll grab a coat and they'll get back outside the door. I don't know where he talks about it, but anyway, that's how I feel. So I'm gonna finish this book. And I just want to share the things that I'm learning, and I hope that stuff like this is. Don't report, please. I want to figure out, or I want to share the things that are motivating me, that are inspiring me. I want to be accountable to you, and I hope in return that it gives you inspiration and motivation to be physically strong, to take care of your body, to exercise, that it inspires you to have healthier relationships, to build bridges, to fix conflict, and sorry, I have indigestion. I can't figure out the word I'm trying to say either. I hope it inspires you to like a book like this, like the 4 Agreements for Spirituality. This was an excellent example for physical health, relationships, health, do you even know what the four agreements are? Let me just share what they are. They're the point of the four agreements is to Steve's, what's the point of the four agreements? It's just, I guess it's just kind of how to. Oh man, I'm stumbling. I've read it twice. I just read it. I just read the book twice. The four agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. What's the point? What are we trying to accomplish by doing those things? Man, I missed it. I must have missed like the most important part of the book. That's why I got to go through it, and that's why I want to do this on the podcast. So anyway, it's been 46 minutes, 47 seconds, and 5 of it was me trying to get my shirt and puff my inhaler. So this week I'm gonna go back through the four agreements because it's really like a 45-minute read, or if you have or maybe I think the audiobook is like 2 hours. So if you have the audiobook, it's like 2 hours. The David Goggins book, Can't Hurt Me, is 11 chapters or 12 chapters. I think it's like a 10-hour listen on Audible. So, will you share the book with me? Would love to hear it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like you want me to send you a copy or what? I know, but I agree. It's not a discussion for Twitch. It says, but I want to, I guess I'm just struggling to remember the reason, like why we want those four. What's the point of the four agreements? Why do we want to live? I just missed the point. I just missed the whole point. So I'll figure it out, and I'll be back next week. I'm gonna keep sharing podcasts and, oh yeah, I'll share it next time. If I remember. So, if you want to, my message was at Cade. Sorry, Brex. Yeah. If you don't already, you can turn on notifications for whatever you're watching on. If you're watching on Twitch, you could like turn the little bell on. So when I go live, I'll do it how I did it today. I'll go live and I'll have that starting soon screen on for like 5 minutes before I get started. So if you're on Twitch, you could turn on the bell. I think Facebook you could turn on for live notifications. YouTube, you could do it for everywhere you're watching. So and I'm also going to try to post this on Spotify and Apple Podcast tonight, so it should be ready tomorrow if people care to listen. And I'm just going to share it. Oh, and also, I wanted to do this at the beginning, but I'll do it right now. Or I'll get started on it right now. I've been off of social media for like a year, and I love it. And I want to use it to promote my podcast, to promote my concert that I have coming up. I have 3 concerts coming up this year, in July, August, and September. I want to promote all of like the fun stuff that I'm doing. And I want people to be involved and to come hang out here, to come hang out at the concerts. But I also don't want to use social media at all. I'll watch TikTok because TikTok makes me laugh harder than probably people do in real life. And I also get a lot of information from TikTok, so I'll probably share. I've got a lot of like financial advice from TikTok, and I get a lot of exercise advice from TikTok. It's insane. I think it's, and then you could get the same benefit from Instagram. But anyway, the point is I'm going to unfollow everybody. I'm going to unfollow my friends, my family, my girlfriend, and I'm going to only follow the Jocko Wilkins. Jocko Wilkins. That's the Navy SEAL that's wakes up at 4:30. I'm going to only follow people like Jocko Wilkins, or is it Willinks? I'm going to only follow people like Rogan, so I keep, because I want my feed to be just the motivation. I love my friends and my family, and I do care about the posts. But if you haven't cared about me liking your pictures or commenting on your shit for the last year, then if you haven't been texting me and calling me like, why aren't you commenting on my pictures, which nobody has done, then I'm just gonna unfollow you. and I'm going to unfollow everybody so I can use my social media just to promote the things that I am doing, the things that I think are good for everybody, and that way I'm not distracted by people that I follow that I haven't talked to since high school. Not it's not like I don't care about you. It's just that I want to use it to promote. I want to use it and not be distracted, basically. Same thing for Twitter. Facebook's tough because Facebook has like you memories and stuff. I don't think I have Facebook downloaded anymore though, so I don't care. I don't care so much for that. So don't get offended if I unfollow you. But also, if I unfollow you, then you probably don't have any way of contacting me. So it's all good in this hood. And anybody that cares to be in my life for the last year that I've been away from social media has stayed in my life by calling me and texting me and inviting me out to stuff. So, like, if you're not doing that already, then really that's why I kind of think social media is dumb. It's putting on a facade of these relationships that don't really exist. I mean, we had a relationship in high school. We had a class together, or we had a few classes together. We were on the golf team together. Like, I love you guys. I love you, and I love those memories. But at this point, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to do with social media? I want to use it to promote goodness and fun stuff, and I don't want it to be distraction, because that's all it really is to me. I get really distracted by it. I love a thing that I have struggled with was, I will drive to a job while I'm working, and when I park, I will sit on Instagram for like 5 or 10 minutes, and I would do that at every job, 8 or 9, 10 times a day. So I cut out a ton of wasted time that way. When I come home from work, instead of coming inside, sitting down, watching Instagram, or I really don't even do it with TikTok. I really only watch TikTok like on the weekends. But instead of coming home and being distracted by social media, I come home, I make dinner, I shower, I hang out with my girlfriend, with Hudge, and Hudge is my girlfriend. And I get to focus on playing music. I work on the house. I work on my garden. A lot of things that are just more productive, that are more satisfying to me than being distracted with just the endless scrolling of pictures and people that I don't talk to. A few that I do talk to, and there's important things that get put on social media by other people. But if there's something that comes up that anyway, so if you haven't missed me in a year, then I'm sure it's not going to mean anything. So, but that's how I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to unfollow all of you, and turn on your notifications and come hang out with us next week. I'm glad that you guys showed up. Steez and Brax always coming through, and the not so good artist. Welcome to the Alpha Seltzer stream, the Caden Kelly podcast. It's it's a good time. It's barely a good time. It's a time. It's what? It's a time. All right, you guys have a great week. I'll be on next week, 9:00. I'll be sharing all my shit, and we'll get after it. So have a good week. And then I'm going to use this right here to end it. Nope, that's not going to work. Oh, yeah, it did.
読み直している。で読み直している。だけがで読み直している。で読み直している。